Welcome back, everybody. This video is going to deal with how to generate your files that you need in order to get DOF to actually run for you. Specifically, how to generate your direct output 30 INI file that controls your output boards through DOF, and how to create your cabinet file automatically using the file generator utility. You're going to click on the file generator button, which is going to bring you to the dashboard of the file generation utility. Step one is pretty straightforward. This determines what your layout is of the actual physical effects in your cabinet. Whether or not you have side strips installed, a matrix installed, an expansion board installed, whether you want to use the ROM filtered configuration or not. Remember, that's the configuration utility that allows you to specify that you only want to use the ROMs that you have, or the ROMs that apply to the tables that you have installed in your cabinet, or whether you want to generate the full boat INI file of all the ROMs that are available, and whether or not you want to set a global flipper timer setting to limit how long your flippers can be held on in the case that you trap a ball or something like that and you don't want to burn out your solenoids. So it's pretty straightforward. You're going to click on the box and you'll be presented with a down arrow and you can select yes or no. So if you have playfield side strips installed, you click yes. Matrix, same thing, yes or no. Same with whether or not you have the add-on expansion board installed in your system. You're going to determine that, and whether or not you want to use the ROM filtering. And then if you have a variable that you want to install, and it is in milliseconds, so 1000 equals 1 second. In this case, I've already entered in 10,000, but we could just as easily enter in 5,000. And at that point, you're ready to generate your config file. So you would click on the Save to File. You would browse to where you want to save the file. It's going to be called Direct Output 30 INI. You want to leave that as your default. You don't want to change the name of that, and you're going to click on Save. At that point, you've generated the file. For your cabinet configuration file, you're going to come down, you're going to enter in what the COM port is. It's going to be entered as COM, and whatever the port number is that Windows has assigned your controller, you find that in the View Files, or View Printers and Devices screen of your control panel, and you enter in exactly what that number is. You're going to want to tell the configuration utility by entering in the number of LEDs that you have on your right side playfield strip. So if you have 144, you enter 144. Then you want to tell it what direction it's starting from. Are the wires that are feeding the LED strip at the front of your cabinet or at the back of your cabinet? And you select that from the drop down that's available to you. And you do the same for the left side. Now for your matrix, you want to know how many LEDs high your matrix is. So starting at 1, count up to the number in height at the back of your matrix and enter that number there. You do the same thing for the width. Basically, starting at 1, how wide is the matrix that you have? And then you want to tell it where the wires are starting from in the matrix. Now, the matrix gets tricky because you can have wiring that starts at the bottom right-hand corner, the upper right-hand corner, the bottom left-hand corner, or the upper left-hand corner. So basically what you want to know is, are they at the top or the bottom? and do they go right to left? And you're going to select that from this menu here. And then if you have extra LED toys that you've installed, like say speaker rings, you would enter what you want to call those toys. So in this case, we'll call it speaker rings. How many LEDs are in the total string of the rings that you're using, and whether you want them to go top down, left to right, or top down, right to left. Doesn't really matter, I don't think, for speaker rings, but the availability is there. You'd have the same thing for any of the following two channels that are open that you want to expand to. And once again, when you're done and you're satisfied with your entries, you're going to click the Save to File. It's going to generate a Cabinet.xml file, and you're going to save that. Now, the other option that you have as well is a Clear Outputs batch file. This is a batch file that you can run that will turn off all the LEDs in your system, all the effects in your system. It's a nice fail-safe to have for when you're exiting your front end or you're firing up your system. You can put this in place, and this will turn off all the outputs so that you don't have those annoying lighting issues where the first output is on until DOF takes control of it, or if you've exited early and for whatever reason the COM port hasn't cleared the buffer, you can run this to do it. And if you click Save to File, you're presented with the same window. You pick where you want to save it to. It's going to be called clearoutputs.bat, and you can then move that anywhere in your system that you want to move it to in order to be able to use it at will. When you've generated these files, you're going to either copy them to the USB stick, take them to your cabinet, and install them. They go in your direct output config folder. Or if this is software that's installed on your cabinet, you can save them directly to that location, and you'll have instantly updated to whatever the new information is that you wanted to have in. That's how the file configuration generator works for generating the files that you need from all the data that you've accumulated to this point. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll be back with another video.